Hey, this is Nikki. Before we begin this battle report, we would just like to get some feedback from you. Just leave a comment or email us at games@ozarkgladiators.com on what you would like to see us play. What characters, what crisis, what kind of scenarios. We would love to hear from you. We're having so much fun doing this. Thank you.
Today I am bringing the unaffiliated list, the Anti-Mutant Task Force. This government-led task force is led by the Black Widow, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She brought along Punisher and Captain Marvel for support, along with Mystique and MODOK. Now, this has been more of just a fun list to do, but to me, there's a reason why everyone belongs in this list. So obviously, Black Widow is kind of a Black Ops person for S.H.I.E.L.D. Punisher, ex-Special Forces. Captain Marvel works for S.H.I.E.L.D. quite often in the comics, and she is known for getting her hands dirty as well. Mystique, I'm kind of playing as a Skrull, or that's what everyone thinks she is, that she's a Skrull, but obviously she is the mutant Mystique. And then MODOK is kind of like a captured AIM asset who's been repurposed. So combined, they are going to bring an end to the mutant threat. For my team tactic cards, I'm bringing Blood, Red, and Personal, AIM Lackeys, Psychic Fortress, 1-2 Punch, and Deception. Now, a lot of these cards are specific to the characters. In fact, all of them but the 1-2 Punch is. I am bringing 1-2 Punch because Nikki always uses this card, and it seems like it's such a darn good card. I want to get that feeling from using it at the right moment too. AIM Lackeys is a very good card for moving your folks up as long as you have the power. Blood, Red, and Personal, good for getting extra points. And Deception, I want to see how well it does this game. So all in all, that's my team.
Today I'm playing the Uncanny X-Men with Storm as the leader, along with Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast, and Sabretooth. My strategy is not really much of a strategy. Since all these characters are new, it's really hard to decide something firm. But I'm hoping at least Beast will get one of the civilians. He seems to accumulate power the fastest. And just try to avoid MODOK as much as I can. It seems like it's really hard to bring him down with a lot of these characters' attacks. My team tactic cards are First Class, Children of the Atom, To Me, My X-Men, Weapon X Program, and Exceptional Healing. So Exceptional Healing and Weapon X Program are cards for Wolverine and Sabretooth. To Me, My X-Men, it has to do with the leadership ability. So Cyclops or Storm, if another Uncanny X-Men pays a power, they can move short towards the leader. Children of the Atom removes special conditions and allows you to gain a power for each special condition. And First Class, I know I'll be playing. It's if your first interaction with an objective token, you don't have to pay a power.
So the Anti-Mutant Task Force goes first. And like a good leader, Black Widow is going first. Now this is Black Widow, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is kind of a tough one, since both of the objectives are right on top of each other. Had to figure out which one was more important for her to get a hold of. Ultimately, since she's got the highest physical defense, I decided to go ahead and roll for the trap instead of the taking the civilian, which is actually the spider civilian. I turn that around later. First trap secured. Go good guys.
You've decided you're the good guys, huh?
I am the good guys.
Okay.
You're mutant terrorists.
Okay, so I'm going to play the team tactic card first class, which allows an allied Uncanny X-Men to interact with their first objective without paying a power. So Beast is going to pick up that civilian, and I wanted to go with Beast mainly because he can accumulate a lot of power. Anytime he rolls a failure, he gets, or at least one failure, he gets a power. So I figure it costs 6 power to let those civilians go, so I thought he'd be a good bet. And he is going to roll for the trap. And he barely gets it.
Alright, so Captain Marvel is next. And she's going to be my civilian carrier. I just thought she would be a little bit more survivable. And then I'm just going to maneuver her to kind of set up for the next couple of rounds. I didn't want her staying next to that trap. That would have been a trap.
Alright, so I'm moving Storm. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to attack Captain Marvel or not. I go ahead and decide to do Lightning Bolt, which it's an energy attack, so I don't know if I should do it or not. It's not very good against Captain Marvel, but if I roll a wild, she gets shocked, so I decide to go ahead and do it. Okay, 2.
Blocked.
Just let me roll my crits, Andy. Okay, so I do get a wild, so she's shocked.
And no damage. And I got some of that sweet, sweet power from my own wild. Yeah, that was my first time playing Captain Marvel, so I was pretty excited about that. Alright, so my next choice is going to be Mystique. I was very excited to play her. I apologize for that weird dollop of paint on her head. It gets corrected by round 3.
That's when we finally noticed it.
Yeah. But yeah, Mystique, I'm moving her up to try to snatch that trap away for an extra easy point. It's kind of a risky move. It does not pay off right there. I just hope she doesn't pay for that the next round.
All right, so Sabretooth. And I did make a mistake here. I used the first class card with his character, and he is not an Uncanny X-Men, so I was not supposed to do that.
With everybody else you had over there, you would have grabbed that trap. So I'm not too worried about that.
Right. So there we go.
Now it's time for the Punisher. Moved him up, and now I have the decision that I'm kind of going back and forth now. Do I grab the civilian, or do I try to take care of the trap? Even though I just grabbed the civilian, I decided that's not the best move for the Punisher. I think his power is better spent grabbing the trap and letting MODOK grab that civilian. At least that's the plan. But you know what they say about plans. Your plan totally succeeds as long as you have the Punisher. That's what I say.
Okay, so I'm just moving Wolverine up there. Really excited to play Wolverine.
I'm super dreading that. And now it's time for MODOK! This is my first time playing him. I was very excited to try him. I've heard a lot about him. Had a practice game with him before that. Super fun with him. So I went ahead and grabbed that civilian and MODOK's turn.
Yeah, MODOK is the perfect opponent for the X-Men, I think. I've decided.
Yeah, that was not my choosing. She said play MODOK. I didn't realize they were going to be so good against Sabretooth.
I didn't know. I was just throwing something out there. Who knew? So Cyclops, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to move him up and do anything else, but I ultimately just decide to stay there.
Yeah, MODOK only did well in the practice game. We have no idea how well he's going to do here. Mystique will start round 2. She took a damage because she was too close to the trap and Nikki controlled it, so that's one right off the bat. I'm going to do a pistol attack on Beast, which is just a 4-dice physical. But I roll pretty darn good, 2 criticals. Like the Punisher and Black Widow, she's got rapid fire with this weapon. So, right off the bat, I am doing 3 points. Now, Nikki does have the Storm Leadership ability in play, but since I'm within 2, he does not get that cover ability from it. My second, well, the rapid fire attack, I should say, hits pretty decently. So I do it again. It doesn't seem like he would be powerful, but rolling basically 16 dice when it's all said and done can actually add up pretty well.
And I think this is where I'm using Beast's ability, Stars and Garters, to re-roll 3 of his dice. You can pay up to 3 to roll up to 3 dice.
That's frustrating too, because you think you do really well, you see you roll bad, and they're like, oh no, oh my Stars and Garters. So now I'm doing my rapid fire.
It keeps moving.
Not as well with that last shot. And he blocks it. But I hurt him. I actually did way more damage than I expected. So, and then I use my second new favorite ability, the Expert Sabotage. It's like Punisher's Warzone. And I blow up that Deadpool taco truck, hitting Storm for 2 damage. Now I'm trying to take control of that trap. And no success. Mystique is having no luck with that today. But that was still a really solid round for Mystique.
Alright, Beast is going to pay 6 power to release the civilian.
Release the hostage is what you mean.
Okay. Hostage, civilian, whatever. And now he's going to attack Mystique with Acrobatic Strike.
Now Now, what would have happened if you rolled a wild?
I would place this character within one of the target character. And I hope I did that the rest of the game, because I was trying to think, did I ever do that? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's like Nebula's ability. She has that.
Right. So he's going to do it again. I love these pretty blue colors on here. Beast and Mystique.
They really pop, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was angry.
When I think of Beast from the animated version, he was just such a gentleman.
I'm assuming this is like the Beast from the movie where he was a spurned lover.
So she's dazed.
Yeah, he dazed her. So now I am attacking with Captain Marvel. I make a mistake here. I roll 4 dice. I clearly am shocked. I should only have rolled 3 dice. That was my bad.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either, so.
I like to believe this would have been fairly similar. I think he only had 1 health on him anyway, so I dazed him. But again, I do realize that we should have only been 3 dice right off the bat. And this was fun because I think this kind of surprised Nikki. I decided to move. Oh, and I don't know if we counted you in cover in that round either. I was clearly, yeah, that attack had all kinds of mistakes to it.
Poor Beast probably would still be kicking around. Oh well. Alright, so Sabretooth. And he is moving. And he's going to do a claw slash on Captain Marvel. So 3. And you block 1.
Yeah, you rolled a wild.
So that means bleed, and I also got pierced with that. So
I blocked nothing when it was all said and done. I took 3. So now Black Widow's up. I originally wanted to try to interrogate Beast, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. I didn't have enough power. So I am merely just going to try to take over that trap. And I do.
okay, so Storm, and she is going to roll for the trap, and she gets it. Mystique was dazed, and so she just had Black Widow there.
I love how you just threw it down on Black Widow like she's not even there.
Was that me or you? That seemed like a you move. So lightning bolt. So 2, and did you block any? 1? You blocked 1?
Yeah.
Andy can see better than me.
I took 1 damage there, and she shocked me. Shocking is so annoying. It really, really is. So now, it is the Punisher's turn. And I've got my eye on that Sabretooth over there. I know for a fact when I was calculating this shot, I knew she had cover. Sometimes it just clicks in. I don't know why. So I'm about to put some 1911 hip shots into Sabretooth here. So hip fire. Not bad. 3 hits off the bat. And he... Actually 4 there. But cover takes it down to... I don't know why I put that on hit, but... he blocked one of that, so he took 3. And then only 2 this time. Now, the problem with Sabretooth is a little less than Wolverine, but with that stupid healing factor, you really got to hit him hard and put him down fast. Sabretooth isn't as bad as Wolverine. Wolverine's really obnoxious. But I digress.
Alright, Cyclops. Optic Blast on the Punisher.
In the back. Again. Signature Nikki move.
You just need to be aware of your surroundings.
I guess.
Okay, and this is, I pushed him back. Because I rolled a wild. Yeah.
MODOK! I am going to do a psionic blast on Wolverine. Yeah, not too bad. 3 off the bat. And since I knew Mystic is his worst stat, again, Wolverine versus MODOK and Sabretooth versus MODOK, just not a fun match for her. So then I use his other ability. Bow to the will of MODOK!
So I decide that I'm going to, instead of attacking MODOK, I'm going to just move Wolverine into a better position for a next round for what I want him to do. And I will explain more of that, why I made that decision at the end of the game.
All right, starting round 3, I'm going with Captain Marvel. I knew she was moments away from being dazed because she's so low on stamina right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of that shock so I can do maximum amount of damage to Sabretooth. He still has a civilian. I also just got rid of mine. I paid my 6 points to get rid of my civilian for +2 victory points. And now I'm going to try and knock off that civilian from Sabretooth. I thought Energy Blast was safe since I could re-roll. But when you roll 2 failures, that becomes a little bit more difficult. So I end up hitting him for 1, which is not enough. And that's her.
Okay, so Sabretooth is going to release his civilian. And then he is going to attack Captain Marvel with Savage Predator. And if I get a critical and a wild, I make a claw slash attack. And I do, but it's not needed because he dazes her.
Yes, I knew he was going to.
Alright, and now I'm just moving him. I'm going to go towards one of those portals up there. Or traps. I keep saying portals. Traps.
All right, MODOK. Psionic Blast to the Cyclops. It's a fantastic roll. Oh, that felt good. That always feels good.
Felt good for you.
Well, yeah.
Not for me.
Now, you do get cover. It wasn't enough to daze you, unfortunately. But really, this is more about building up power reserves. Obviously, I want to take out Cyclops, but I really just wanted to get some power. So he ends up blocking all of it. But that does give me enough power to release my civilian on MODOK. So I have released both civilians now, the one on Captain Marvel and the one on MODOK, for 4 points all in all.
So Storm is attacking Black Widow and Mystique with Ice Blizzard, and it's a Beam 3 attack, starting with Black Widow. So 3.
Well, ultimately, I took 1.
Okay, you block 2. So Mystique. Three.
Block 2. Took 1.
Okay, now Lightning Bolt on Black Widow.
And since you since you hit both Mystique and Black Widow, you stun both of them.
That's right. If damage is dealt, they get a stun.
So yeah, she's really racking up those tokens.
Alright, and then I throw Black Widow at Mystique.
So yeah, you hit Mystique. Hurt Mystique pretty badly that round. So I'm going to go ahead and activate her next. I suspected that she wasn't long for this world at this point. So I'm doing an espionage attack on Beast. An espionage, it's her more powerful attack. And if you deal before damage is dealt, they gain stun. So see how he liked it. End up dealing 3 damage. 2 because of cover. That Storm Leadership ability is just so obnoxious. Actually, no, I think what you're thinking about right now is you're going to use Oh My Stars and Garter.
Yeah, and I do use it, but it doesn't do me any good.
Yeah, that was a spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. I tend to do that.
But yeah, it does no good, so...
Poor Beast.
So now a pistol attack, hopefully legally this time.
Just really got it out for Beast, don't you?
Indeed. So 3 with 2 criticals right off the bat. You block 1. I hit you for another 2, so 5 all in all. You've got 2 eligible dice for rerolls with Oh My Stars and Garter. Which does you no good, again. And that KOs Beast from the game.
Poor Beast. He's just so blue and pretty. Okay, so Wolverine, moving him over there by the Punisher. And he's doing the best at what I do. And the great thing about this, it's a charge with the attack. The wilds count as 2 successes. But I don't think I rolled any wilds on that one. Okay, so on this one, if I roll a wild, I get Pierce and he would get Bleed.
So I should have Bleed on me at this point. That was our mistake. We were looking through the rules and I just totally got skipped over Pierce. I'm going to go ahead and do an aim shot at Cyclops. End up hitting for 5 rod off the bat. And because of cover, I end up doing 3, but that is enough to daze him. So then Black Widow, she's the last person to activate. I've knocked out Beast and Cyclops. First attack is bad. Second one is better. I do 2 points off that one. I'm sorry, 1 point. She rolled a critical. I'm going to do a desperation attack and do 1-2 punch with a pistol attack for 5 dice because I'm still shocked and totally not worth it. I hit for 1 and she blocks it, and then I hit for nothing. Oh, crushing. So now I'm trying for the trap, but at least I get that.
All right, Cyclops. And he is deciding that MODOK and Punisher need to be attacked by Optic Devastation. It's Beam 5, 7 dice. It's his best attack. Cost of 4 power. And
roll a wild, you get concussive force.
That's right. Which MODOK would be able to get rid of the wilds. So what was that? He got 2 damage?
Yes.
All right, so Punisher. You're next, Punisher.
Right, and concussive force makes you lose a power if he rolls a wild.
Right, correct. All right, that was a bad roll.
Easily blocked. So you start with him next.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, you're going down, buddy. All right, maybe not down, but he's getting some damage. Okay, 3.
So I took 2, and that dazes him.
All right, so he was going down.
Yes, he's going down.
All right, so MODOK now. So he took 1.
Yeah, so 3 all in all.
Okay.
So again, that dazed the Punisher. So from the Punisher, we're going to move over to Captain Marvel, and we're about to have a tragedy here. Oh my god, it hurts to rewatch that. So, yeah, their legs can be so annoyingly fragile, and it's bound to happen. Luckily, I was able to repair it fairly seamlessly, but I can't tell you how annoyed I was to break Captain Marvel. But she recuperated. She does a rocket punch to Sabretooth. So starting out with 5 right there. Coming back strong, 6. And he didn't block any of that. Pow to the kisser. And then she's on a roll. She throws a car at Storm. No one snaps Captain Marvel's leg off and ignores it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was you that snapped her leg off, so...
I told it was you.
No.
So I just dazed Storm and Sabretooth there. Really, really solid turn for Captain Marvel, who is not crippled.
Okay, so I'm going to move Wolverine. I want to move him by the trap, but I figure I might as well do the charge, best at what I do. That way I can at least have a chance at putting some more damage on MODOK. And the great thing about the best at what I do is that wilds count as 2 successes. And then you get the adamantium slash, which also, if you roll wilds, bleed and a pierce. And against anybody but MODOK, it would be great, but MODOK gets to change wilds to blank, so I'm kind of, I know I'm not going to get far with this, and then I roll terribly on top of it. But it was worth a shot, and it got me near the trap. Alright, another adamantium slash. And I wanted to do his Berserker Barrage, but I didn't have enough power. Okay, so 3. I just find MODOK seriously annoying. Alright, so I'm going to roll for the trap. And I get it.
Now it's MODOK's turn. He did not care for that.
Let me just say how old that voice got that day that we played that game.
It was my secret weapon! So I am doing a Psychic Blast on Wolverine. It's a really good attack. I like that on Wolverine. So, just a little bit of damage, but again, it was more just to gain some power. And be annoying, honestly. And now I'm bow to the will of MODOK! Move him away. And the reason I did that was I wanted that trap, and I did not want to have to roll over Wolverine. Trying to grab as many points here as possible now. Thank goodness, because MODOK's physical defense stinks. Alright, so everyone else on her team is dazed or gone. So I'm just going to grab one more point with Black Widow by interrogating Storm, and that ends the game. Anti-Mutant Task Force 19 and the X-Men 13. So in a sense, this game has been months in the making. Ever since we heard that the X-Men were coming to Marvel Crisis Protocol, we were both super excited. And since I had already grabbed the Punisher and told Nikki under no uncertain terms I was going to play him right off the bat, she basically came back and said, well, I get the X-Men. And that was fair enough for me. And I thought she did a really great job of debuting him here. So we were, again, I know we use the word excited a lot. We were very excited to get this game filmed, played. Again, we did a practice game first, and it went similarly to this one. Maybe a little bit different, but overall we learned a lot. Let's talk about the MODOK in the room, because that's kind of the thing that hit us both the most. I want to first say, Nikki suggested MODOK for the team, and there was a lot of reasoning why the team got selected the way it did. We hadn't played him yet. I had told her numerous times I was excited to play him. She's like, well, why don't you play him here? Well, we had no idea what kind of impact he was going to have on her pretty much entire team. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is that a lot of especially Wolverine and Sabretooth, I guess you could say that about a lot of the Marvel Crisis Protocol characters, but it seems like, for instance, Wolverine, such a cool character, really good attacks, but the wild, it's like that just doesn't, you're wasting, like his charge, that's like one of the coolest things about Wolverine. It costs 3 power, you charge and you attack with his adamantium slash, and the wilds are worth 2 successes, and that's awesome, but against MODOK that doesn't work. So, and then you also get pierce and bleed with that attack if you roll a wild. So again, you're just doing 5 dice basically, and you're spending 3 power to do it.
So to be clear, that is all true, but we need to clarify what pierce does because of order of operation, because this did come up a couple times actually. So if you look at the order of operation, it goes attacker pool, defender pool, criticals, attacker modification, defender modification. So if you roll a wild for his claw slash, his adamantium slash, what ends up happening is he does negate my ability to block one of his attacks during the attacker modification phase. But then during the defender modification phase, I negate that wild. So she still gets to remove one of my defense dice. But then if that was her only source of damage, I would have stopped that. Now, obviously, that doesn't stop any other kind of damage coming through. But to her point, that severely limits what is about to happen to MODOK.
Well, it's just that, everything that makes that attack so cool all of a sudden goes away with MODOK. And it's just the dice. It's just the dice at that point. And I think I loved Wolverine. Loved him. But, against MODOK, it's not great. So then I was like, okay, well, we're just going to do Cyclops. And but I needed somebody else over there with me. And it kind of was the same scenario with Sabretooth. And in our practice game, Sabretooth did put a lot of damage on MODOK. But
he knocked half his power in one attack. Or stamina.
But again, if that's what you're going to do, if that's your main purpose, is just to sit there and just attack and attack and attack. And for me, I want to get points. Sabretooth was long. I wanted to move, be able to move him around. And so, I don't know. And I think maybe because of our practice game, maybe I wasn't aggressive enough in this game. I feel like I held my own until that last round. But...
and the funny thing, too, is Nikki should be proud of herself, because I took a page from her when I played her this game. I completely ignored Wolverine when at all possible.
Yeah, and then I didn't get my power.
Yeah, so that is a classic Nikki move, and it's very effective. Just if there's, and this is not just in this game. We have other games we played, like Star Wars Legion, where if I have someone super powerful out there, she'll ignore them. She'll just kind of work around them, and it really generally works in her favor. Wolverine, with his healing factor 2
is super duper annoying. All the damage I had done to him throughout the game, he was at full stamina by the end of the game because of his healing factor. So if you're going to take Wolverine out, it's kind of like the Hulk. You've got to put everything into it. And if you're trying to go for objectives, you're trying to go for tokens, you really can't afford to do that unless she backs you in a corner. And I feel like sometimes she was kind of tempting me to go attack Wolverine. No, Nikki, if I was Nikki, I wouldn't have done that. And I took that page and I didn't do it. It's kind of like the old, the classic, one of the very first games we ever played recently like this was, again, Legion. It was an Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader attack. And I really wanted to have that duel. And she's like, no, there's no reason why Obi-Wan should attack Darth Vader. And she moved out of the way, so she never let me have this climactic battle.
I'm so sorry.
I know, right? So I learned that, and it worked for me in here. I used MODOK to kind of screen. And then I didn't attack Wolverine. I attacked him a couple times, but that was mainly because I didn't have anything else to attack. So thank you. And this is why I love playing with Nikki. I learned a lot from her. And maybe that would be. Oh
no, I think I learned more from you.
Well, I'm still learning from you though.
But no, I think the more that we play these characters, the better we'll get at it. I'm sure that there was a lot of things we could have done differently. Like I said, I think I probably should have been a little more aggressive. And I was wishing I had put a couple of the characters in different places, but
yeah, that time, practice.
Yep.
No, this was a fun battle. Again, we got to see a bunch of new characters for both sides, both Mystique and MODOK for me, and then all the X-Men for you.
Mystique was really cool.
Mystique was fun. She's kind of like a combination of Black Widow and Punisher. And it wasn't until we were reviewing this video that I realized her pistol does not work like everyone else's pistol. So that was my mistake. Could things have been changed differently because of Beast? It's possible. I won't say no. I'm hoping that I would have played well and still won. But we made some mistakes. We made quite a few mistakes. We're learning new characters, and that's what happens when you learn new characters.
Yeah, and also I think I didn't play any of my cards except one, and I find that happens when I play new characters is I'm just not focused as much as I should be on when to play the cards, or I haven't learned exactly when I should play them. So I'm sure there was a couple of times in there I should have played.
But yeah, all in all, I always enjoy playing unaffiliated lists. I knew right off the bat when she picked the X-Men, I wanted to play a thematic list here. Originally, it was Taskmaster instead of MODOK, and then I think I had Killmonger in there. And for various reasons, that didn't work out. We wanted to add Mystique in there, and then I still had some points left over. After I knew Punisher, I knew Black Widow; those were given. Mystique, that brought me to 10 points. So then I had to kind of figure out what am I going to do with these other points. Well, did I do the math right there? So Mystique, Black Widow and Punisher are 6 points. And then, I'm sorry, that would have brought me to 10 points, and then I would have had 8 more points to play with. Instead, Nikki's like, why don't you bring out MODOK? We'll try him, we'll have some fun. That allowed me to bring Captain Marvel, which I loved playing Captain Marvel.
I know, I always like playing Captain Marvel. I think she's really good.
Even with her crippling injury she had.
It's probably because I played her so much.
Right. Hopefully now she's stronger in her ankle joint. But, no, lots of fun. We do have Magneto and Toad ready to go, and that will be one of our next games. It won't be the very next one, probably. We have another we taped that we'll probably do instead for our next video. But Magneto versus the X-Men is coming up really soon. We also had a request for Hulk versus Thanos, and we are definitely on board to try that one out. So we'll be the Defenders with Hulk versus Thanos and ... to be determined. So that's going to be fun. And other than that, we hope everyone has a good holiday. This will be posting tomorrow, and then obviously Thanksgiving's the week after. But hopefully you can enjoy these with some turkey dinner too.
Well, not everybody celebrates American Thanksgiving, Andy.
This is true. I apologize
It's a big
for being...
world out there.
It is, actually, and our Canadian friends have already celebrated Thanksgiving.
That's right, and I used to live in Canada.
Yes, I know. Well, wherever you're at, I hope you enjoy walking.
I hope you're healthy, too.
Yes. All right. Take care, and we'll see you soon.